Hello, this is Apples of Earth, presenting Fort Schoenberg of the Maginot Line. So this is Block 7 of Fort Schoenberg, one of the two main entrances into the fort. It is also known as the munitions entrance. On the top of the entrance, there are two GFM cloches, and it stands for Getefuse Mitrailleur. It means machine gun spotter. A cloche means bell in French. Inside the entrance, we have 3 slots for FM, the standard French machine gun, and the entrance to the GFM cloche. As we head deeper into the fort, we come across 2 lifts, a 5-ton elevator and a 2.5-ton elevator. The elevator takes us 22 meters below the entrance. To the left, there is a small station for fixing carts that could break down. Here is the munition storage, which stores much of the munition inside the fort. It holds artillery shells, anti-tank shells, anti-infantry shells, ammo for guns, grenades, and much more. At the end of the hallway, we have an interior blockhouse with 2 slots for FM, in case enemies break in from the back line. We are now heading towards the barracks. We will first start off with the infirmary. This is the operating theater where surgeries are performed in a non-sterile environment. Most of the time, there are more than 1 person who have life-threatening injuries, but due to the fact that there is only 1 operating table, the person not chosen for operation would be sent here, the salle de triage, where they would be laid to die. Coming up on our right is the food storage room, where a stockpile of frozen meat, pickled vegetables, and wine is kept. Usually, fresh food is delivered to the fort, but in case of a deliver failure, there is enough food to last many months. This is the kitchen. During the time, it was called ultra-modern, and it served food for the 600 people that will operate in this fort. Up ahead is the water system. There is a well that supplies drinking water and water for firefighting. Here is the sleeping quarter, where 36 men would sleep together in a room. They would take shifts of 3 days on the front line and 3 days here, for a period of 300 days. Officers received special treatment, such as their own food prepared in their own kitchen. They also slept in separate rooms in groups of 2. Over here is the washroom, which... oh, I forgot to light it up. I'll provide a picture in a post-edit. Then to the right of the washroom, we have the interrogation room. And the washroom again. And then to the left, we have the prison cell, where prisoners would be temporarily held. After the First World War, the French became extremely afraid of gas attacks. So in this room, we have showers, specifically for gas victims. We also have a machine that would be used to detoxify articles of clothing. Here are the rooms where injured individuals would rest and be taken care of. This is a storage room for bits and bobs. And then this room, we have the workshop. There is a drill, sheet roller, wrenches, and grinders. The white cylinders in the room are transformers. They increase or decrease the voltage of the electricity as different. There are multiple equipments in the Maginot line that uses different voltages. Across the room is a firefighting kit equipped with water and sand, just in case the transformers catch on fire. The next two rooms contain coolant for cooling the engine. As the coolants cool the engine, the coolant would become very hot. The hot water was then circulated throughout the fort and was used as a heating system. We've arrived at the engine room, which contains 4 diesel engines, though the fort could theoretically only run on 2. The fort could also be powered through external means, which means it could be powered by power plants deeper into French territory. The final room here is the filter room, where air is filtered in case of a gas attack. The filters themselves are alternating layers of carbon and filter paper. Because the walk to the next section is particularly long, here are some fun facts to make this walk less awkward. Like, did you know that this fort had a morgue, a small church, and an escape hatch? I couldn't find it. It's totally not like I never built it in the first place because I was too lazy and was short on time. Nah, it's because I couldn't find it. This fort is very big after all. There was no dedicated place in the Maginot line to eat, and so boards along the wall were installed to be used as tables. Also, the rails seen sprawled throughout the fort were used for electrical trains, which carried ammunitions, men, and food. We are now heading towards the command post, which connects the back line to the front line. It is also around here where the hypothetical morgue exists. The first thing in the command center is 2 rooms for officers to sleep in. The room to the left is the infantry command post. The room up ahead is quite an interesting room. It belonged to the fort's commander. The room across is the telephone exchange, where all the telephones are wired. The final room is the artillery command post. Up ahead is what would usually be the front line. However, I instead built certain aspects of the front line, or defenses of the Maginot line, that I found interesting. First up, we have the retractable turret. I think instead of reading out the contents of the text, I'll just allow you guys to read it, because it's kind of pointless for me to read it. And then we have the anti-tank gun, which could be switched out for the machine gun. The stained glass is a representation of the wall in which the gun would be placed against. Then we have the actual machine gun. Then we have the anti-tank obstacles in the barbed wires. This is block 4 of the front line, and that's the retractable turret, and those are the GFM cloches. And if you really want to know, those two little nubs in the center are grenade launchers. The French built many of these dams to create artificial natural barriers. And now I present to you the written piece on the fall of the Maginot Line. Anyways, we're back to block 7. Something I forgot to mention earlier were that the copper bars on the top of the blockhouse were actually for receiving radio signals. And that is all to this map. I wrote the bibliography down in the Minecraft book. If you were to click on the letterings inside the book, it would lead you to the actual website in which I gotten it from. However, because of the criteria for this project was written that I need this to be an MLA format, I also did include the bibliography on a separate piece of paper in MLA. And that is all to the video. Goodbye!